All right. So this is the CI/CD UX meeting for September 21st. So first off, some standing announcements, right, and updates. So OKR progress. Kate left a comment here about the SAS, the S2 issues for package that were planned for 15.5. They're not going to be able to deliver on that. She already left a comment, and then we already are aligned on this. Emily, I know that for release, everything's already done. And I think we have a couple of issues open for pipeline authoring. But what I just want to voice is if in the future, when we are looking at OKRs, right, that relate to SAS or issues that, we have a commitment to deliver, I think it's good to align with the stage groups, with the teams, that if you're not improving the usability through the commitments of the OKR, then what is the improvement that the team is proposing, right? So that we make sure that we're talking about a trade-off and not, we deprioritized, right? Cool, things happen, but what's the plan to later prioritize those issues or the usability improvements, or what are we trading off, right? So I just want to put this comment there. But thanks, Katie, for giving the update. And then next up is talent assessment. It's coming up soon. They're launching mid-October, so October, November. We're gonna have the talent assessment, logistics flows, exact dates TBD. So I link here the handbook page. And I think they're also changing some things in the process. I think the team member assessment is gonna be optional. The manager is mandatory, team member optional, but that might change, right? Now that we are under product, things might change in the process. So Erica, your manager, is going to update you, but keep an eye, folks, in the page. And Katie's not here, but I'll make the announcement since this is gonna come out. It's gonna be a public knowledge soon. So Katie is going to transition to the machine learning team. So she applied internally, and she's changing team to be managed by Tori, starting in October. But she will still be covering for package half her capacity until we backfill the role. So she will transition out in 15/6 because this milestone she's doing beautifying our UI. But once that ends, she'll start onboarding the new team and then supporting package until we backfill the role. Yeah. Good job, Katie. Very, very sad to see Katie go, but it's such a great opportunity, and I think she'll do great in the machine learning team, right? Gina is not here today, but I'll just quickly go through her updates. Runner fleet was evaluated at complete, so that's huge, right? You can check the updates in the Dovetail project, and then she has an async comment here about browsing a job artifact file. They're going to be working on making it easy to find that file in this particular issue that she linked here. So we can find more details. What is that? Oh, it's an actual, it's an insight for usability. That's cool, pipeline insights, right? So that's that. Emily, do you want to take over for release?
Yeah, so I don't have much of an update. I'm catching up on like a little over 2 weeks of PTO today. So not much from the product to update, but I will be hosting another release office hours tomorrow with some focus on like UX and front end. So how community contributors can get UX feedback, front end feedback on their contributions. So I'll have an update on how that goes on our next meeting, but excited because our last office hours had a pretty good turnout, and people were open to asking questions and everything. So, and then looks like Vitika is also not here and is on some time off today. So,
great. I can voice Katie's comments. As I mentioned, she's working on verifying our UI, this milestone, and now that Nadia left. Nadia's last day was yesterday, right? Katie's taking over some of the issues and some of the proposals that Nadia was working on, last milestone. So that's super cool too. And then she's working with Anna, right, the front-end engineer. And you have a comment here. Do you want to voice that?
Yeah, so I came up with a bunch of ideas for beautifying our UI, but our login page ended up taking the whole milestone. So I kind of have a bunch in that issue that if any are interesting, Katie, you can kind of take them over. But yeah, our login page went out, so that's really exciting. So if you
Yeah.
log in, you'll see a different login page now.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, it's in production. I saw that earlier this week. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, thanks for the heads up there. And then I'll just read out Katie's second point. They're working through adding a banner to the product UI as a call to actions for survey customers. Stretchable for package rating 15.5. Erica, is that the good?
I help with that one a little bit.
Yeah. So tell me more about that. What's going on here?
So they're working on the integration for package and how they're going to support that. And so they wanted to get just like tactical quant data around which packages, which types of packages people wanted to import, and then like how large they are. And I think they're asking like a background question on company size. But that's one we don't want to do via email campaign because it will be hard to find them. But I think that'll be really helpful, and it will inform, because we asked it in a more global way, which is not like just at that one Artifactory migration. It should kind of help the team if they can get quant data around like which one might be next based on what people are asking for. So that's smart.
Nice. Right. And is this going to be rolled out in both SaaS and self-hosted?
Great. It should be. We should follow up. Make sure we make a note about that.
So I'll ping Katie here. Erica. Awesome. Julio. Anything else? Any other comments on this one? Then I'll just jump to. I'm reading out all the. Where's our team? Like people are going back to we're all in different time zones, so it's funny because we had everybody like online for a period of time. So that was nice. Nadia left GitLab, and then Kevin Kamali, product designer for growth. He's going to be covering for pipeline authoring as a borrow until 15.8. So he'll be allocated 60% of his capacity. And I'll link here the transition for verified pipeline authoring so you folks can see the work. So Kevin will be tackling mostly some of the research items, Erica, that were pending or they're ongoing for pipeline authoring. So he starts looking to this tomorrow, and then he will start onboarding on the product stage next week. And there's already a plan with Dove, with the PM, about what are the priorities. So we have, where's that issue? Other than design issues for the CI/CD templates, there's a solution validation for the catalog, like the YAML syntax, right? Breaking down that one, and also secrets management. Nadia finished up the jobs to be done, but then, yeah, I know that Dove wants to prioritize secrets management and then start with the design work. So you have to ramp up on that. So if he asks for anything, and then, yeah, just let me know also so we can help him out. But I think it's good to triple check if there is any research pending, or if the plans for pipeline authoring have changed. So if you need to know, I'll say ask Dove, because he's the one that's making those decisions right now. And then there's also solution validation for retrying trigger jobs. I don't think she has started. Maria has started with that one yet. She just has the issue. Yeah.
So I was thinking, I'm so glad that was so quick. Yay. We'd have somebody lined up there.
Yes.
I was thinking that I would create an issue to like walk people through all the research to date, because we have like a research program around secrets. So good to know I don't have like 3 weeks, but I'll do that in the next few days, and then like link Kevin, and then I will also invite him. I set up a bi-weekly meeting every 2 weeks with Dove, so I can also invite Kevin there. And then if he has any questions, I did get some resolution yesterday when I met with Dove about it's the double negative, but it's like, should we make the unmasking a default, the ability to unmask, or unmasking by default? And Nadia had pinged me issue and was wondering if we needed research, and you had suggested to her that we might do it at KubeCon. But I resolved with Dove yesterday that we don't need research on that. In part, will be my announcement later. We were able to, because of Gina's help and Nadia's help, we were able to use those pilots to just get great data. So we ran 11 participants in our secret workflow, and we saw that debugging specifically, they're using unprotected secret values, and they're using the CI/CD variables. So while it's not good practice, we also don't want to alienate users. And one thing that one of them said, so the prompt in the study is like, what if we encrypted these values? What would you do? So that would be like the proxy for if they're inaccessible. And one of them was like, I'll file a ticket with GitLab. So that's like an example of like, we don't really need a mass amount of influx in our tickets, right? So yeah. So I'll find the specific, I will make a note to comment on the Erica to find issue and make a note. Don't need more research. Like, we're just going to make it configurable whether or not the default. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I think when Jackie and I did the initial problem validation for secrets management, like 2.5 years ago, I also remember hearing this type of feedback. That's why I told Nadia, like, checking with Erica, maybe we want to ask people if, I don't know, anything has changed. And then indeed, like Vault and then secrets management. That's why we want to separate CI variables from secrets, right? Don't use them. Yeah.
We're on the right path. And then also with some of the changes in the survey, we're going to get quant data on the impact of them. But just the fact that one person was like, I'd file a ticket. So we want to, like, in place have the like documentation around what to do and like think through even the release program.
Okay. Awesome. Ping me in the issue. I'll give some of my updates after everybody goes through their items. But I also have context, and I worked on secrets management before, so I can help out there, pointing out to whatever, maybe historical knowledge that you and the team might need. But I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. Dove told me yesterday, the day before yesterday, but I don't know when he wants to schedule any of the secrets work for design just yet. The team has all this large stuff to work on, like the secrets, and then catalog and the trigger jobs, and then trying to make a business case for something else. But I'll double check.
And one more update around this would be that I saw that the engineering team was like wanting more preparation for being tagged and needing to respond to stuff. So to be proactive about that, I asked them if they could set aside a little time for planning as we get the KubeCon secrets research. Like, that should be big, juicy stuff. So we'll want them to like digest it, but we also don't want to ask too much. So the plan is the first or second week of November to set up a think big, think small exercise around that and those findings, with the idea that that's like low. They can just brainstorm. They don't have to like. I was like, should this be a thing? but it's like, no, do it sync. Everyone can brainstorm, then they can like let go and walk away. But
Okay.
I
Yeah.
need to follow up.
Have you talked to Mark about that? Mark Newell? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But I need to
That's
close
good.
that loop. It's another loop. These are the 3 loops to close. Okay.
Okay, that's good because yeah, that has been a challenge because they're working on a lot of stuff and then there's no
Yeah.
buffer to look
Yeah.
into other things. Yeah. Okay. Let me know. Ping me in Slack and then Erica if you need anything around
Okay.
that. And I also try to, I don't know, do my magic.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Um, coolio. Erica, do you want to cover the research part? Go through Will's and your section?
I know that he has a draft of his benchmark report, which is really good and exciting. And so I'm sure he's really excited about that. He also had the systems performance workshop. I think I was sick. And so I missed it, but one of my things is to watch it and follow up. And I'm excited to see how that worked, even with our team, right, of doing the sync. Because I have been like, no, we should never do that. But I think it went really well. So I'm excited to watch it. We should maybe link to it. And then mine are just that we have these 4 reports on the secrets in the workflow. So it's the debugging workflow, creating a CI template, creating a secrets policy, and what happens when your MR is blocked because you have a secret value in there. And so like TLDR debugging, we need the unprotected values. So we need to solve for that. And it will create a bottleneck in that workflow, especially because the ops are usually the only ones who can access those values. So there's going to be a back and forth that will add time. And then we know that devs don't follow a bad best practice because they don't have time. And so we just want to solve for all of those things. So that's the debugging. And then the MR report, we kind of looked at what happens when you're blocked. And now we want to look at when we go to KubeCon, how we could unblock you in advance. Or like, and one of the things was that the team said, the create team said that they have something already in place to prevent secrets from going into a repository, but none of our users knew about it. So I think, yeah. So I think that there's like a grander thing we need to do, which is as we roll out our secrets solution, we need to be like, and do you know about these things, right? Like, so it won't just be like what Dove and team are working on. It'll be like our suite of offerings. So we can put those together based on these findings. And then part of the creating a secrets policy, which I think is helpful for us and will be helpful for Kevin, is to know that, this is like obvious, but it's important, is that as they're creating a policy, so there's like 3 drivers for the policy: developers, ops people, or compliance requirements. And so because CI/CD variables can be a secret or not a secret, an explicit step for them is like, okay, is it a secret? Is it not a secret? And I think that's really helpful because it's not my rodeo, but for the design cal people who are like trying to figure out what the elegant solution is, maybe building on that decision process until we have a long-term secret solution will be helpful, right? So like if we think about how to clarify all that settings stuff so it's not so complex, maybe you surface the complexity after they have that decision. But this is why I'm always happy to hand off the artistic or like the design problems. But
anyway, thanks, Erica. That's really helpful. And I think Nadia has put together also there's an issue with like a list of things around secrets that she thinks that she found relevant, right, to onboard to ramp up on that. I think we can follow up that on that with Gavin, see if there's anything else that he can consume, any other information that is more up to date, like what you're saying about the reports, or just stuff that will be relevant, not just to build that like that knowledge of secrets, but here are the things that we need, to address now on, as you say, building that decision process. Because it should be simple, right? I remember I did the UX, I did a maturity scorecard with Jackie on Vault integration many moons ago, and no one could complete the scorecard, the scenarios, because it was so complex to set things up. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, awesome. Anything else? Any read-only cool stuff? Actually, I have a comment. That's what I wanted to talk about. So we're gonna have 3 openings in our team product line openings soon. So for package, for pipelining sites, we're hiring another designer. Gina will be moving to Runner full-time. So now she's split, right? Pipelining sites and Runner. So Gina will move to Runner, and we have pipeline authoring. So I'm working on the requirements for the roles, but once I have those open and we have the jobs postings, I'm going to share with our team. And if you know someone already that you think is going to be a good fit for our team, right? Send them my way. Tell them to prepare their LinkedIn profiles and their CVs. Because it's going to be 3 new hires this year. So our team is growing and we are backfilling. So exciting times. Any questions? Any other thoughts? Anything you want to share?
I just have one thing to say out loud. I just want to say one thing out loud. Learning that Katie will transition from package. I'm thinking that I have a gold project that looks at the life cycle of an image that we wanted to we were planning for me to start executing on. And I'm meeting with Katie and Tim today to talk about research priorities, but maybe that's another reason to wait on that, because we could bring that designer in. And Tim said also that they might hire a new PM for that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's like those 2 things are enough to make me, I mean, on the other hand, if I can pull it off myself, that might be helpful for them as they land. So, but I just wanted to say out loud that made me debate more if I should wait on that.
Yeah, checking with them, and then also make your recommendation, right? Because she won't be covering for integrations anymore, and then I also don't know when we're going to backfill the role, right? It might be that we do like in a month or 2 or 4 months, hopefully not. But if it's a go project, and if there was a plan to execute this year, let's say, then team, I think they're going to need to make some trade-offs, because Katie will only be at 50% of her capacity in the coming milestones.
That's exactly why I said it out loud.
Good job.
and then also just to say, like, I think it's really great that Katie has like worked with us, and then we'll do the ML thing, because it has really good tie-ins with our team, right?
Yeah.
I also thought I just saw her integration stuff because she had a question in Slack. And I thought that was smart too. I was like, oh, hang on, it's on it. She's just making sure that we're like touching all the, it's good though. Because I think like we want to figure out how to cross-pollinate all that stuff. So it's exciting.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. It's a huge product. You kind of have to go to the other. Really Emily, Emily came from a complete different area, different perspective also. It's difficult to know. No one knows everything, but it's also difficult to gain that context without actually working on the product area. Awesome. All right, I think that's that. We can let Will know that we finished without him. We finished this meeting without him. Yeah. And then I'll see you next time. Yeah.
Good.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.